Hey guys, it's Rachel Worthy with a new episode of Greenhouse TV, and today we're going to be talking about my favorite jacket. We've been doing a series on apologetics, and today we're going to be discussing, is it reasonable to believe in a created world? Doesn't modern science disprove God? Now, this is an idea that you might have heard, and I heard this a lot growing up because my dad is a Christian and a science teacher, and people would constantly say to me, how is that possible? How can you believe in science and believe in God? That's what we're going to be talking about today. But firstly, I need to show you why this is my favorite jacket. Behold, the best jacket in the world. Check it out. Sneaky phone pocket. The greatest, deepest, fleeciest pockets in the world. Extra fabric so I can actually move. And best of all, when you're camping and you need to wash dishes. Ta-da! Now, the other thing about this jacket that is particularly amazing is that it is made entirely of water bottles. I do not know how, but modern science has made it so that water bottles can turn into this. But if I were to tell you that the way this jacket was made was that I had a pile of water bottles in my backyard, and over the period of a year when they got rained on and it was hot and they sort of broke down, and then suddenly one day I walked out and there was this jacket there, you would think that was a crazy story. When you look at even just this jacket, you can see that somebody put thought into the design. There's great pockets, the sleeves roll up, all these things. Somebody thought about what this jacket would be like. And if we can see design when we look at this jacket, how much more should we be able to see design when we look at the world? Firstly, when we look at DNA, there is information in our DNA that can be read and understood. Information that makes sense doesn't come from nowhere. The universe is incredibly finely tuned for existence and for life. There's a series of constant numbers, things like gravitational constant, the expansion rate of the universe, the size of the electric charge of an electron. All of these things and more have to be so precisely tuned. And if they are off by even a tiny, tiny degree, they could cause the universe to expand too quickly or to collapse back in on itself or 100 other things to happen. Even scientists who don't believe in God at all say that the fine tuning of the universe is completely remarkable. There are also random things that I think show the evidence of a creator. My favorite one is this. The moon is exactly 400 times smaller than the sun and exactly 400 times closer to the earth than the sun. This is the only reason that a solar eclipse is possible. There is no necessary reason that has to be that way. Even in something little like that, I see evidence of an intelligent designer and an intelligent creator. Everywhere we look in creation and in the world, we see unnecessary beauty, unnecessary creativity, unnecessary design. So if we can look at my jacket and see design, how much more should we be able to look at the universe and see design? Genesis 1:1 says, "In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now the earth was formless and empty, and darkness was over the surface of the deep. And the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. And then God said." And the story of Genesis 1 is God speaking life and order and creation into being. One of the core claims of the Christian faith is that an intelligent, personable being made the earth. Science tells us what is, not why it is or what it ought to be. If I were to show you a birthday cake, science could tell you what was in the cake. But science wouldn't be able to tell you why the cake was made or what the cake was for. Only the person who made the cake could tell you that. Christianity answers the why questions about the world, where science is better at telling us the what questions. But the fact that science reveals an earth that makes sense, an earth that is ordered and has laws and cells and elements, I believe that reveals a designer, somebody who thought about it and who made all this amazing complexity come into being. Psalm 19 verse 1-2 says, "The heavens proclaim the glory of God. The skies display his craftsmanship. Day after day they continue to speak. Night after night they make him known." The Bible tells us that the created world actually testifies to God. And if David could see that with the limited knowledge of the world in his time, how much more should we be able to see that with our knowledge of the beauties of the universe, our knowledge of the cell, our knowledge of the way that ecosystems work? How much more should we be able to see the glory of God in the created world? Not only do I think it is reasonable to say that the earth was created by an intelligent designer, I actually think it's unreasonable to say it wasn't. Join us next week as we continue with our series on apologetics.